Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for October 7th, 2018. So this week, was my first week back after vacation, and it was really kind of hard. I mean, work-wise was fine. Luckily, there was no major things that, I had to take care of when I got back. They did a really good job. I'm not saying they did a perfect job, of course, but they did a good job for me being off for a week and a half. So really, I'm not complaining this time around. This was probably the best return from vacation of how much paperwork and stuff I had to catch up on. I still had to catch up on whatever thing that happened, so that took some time, but it was actually really easy this time around. It was just more like I didn't want to be there. If you hear the cats are running around, they just ran by my chair. Anyway, so work was, and I didn't do a whole lot of overtime, which is great. I did a little bit, but not, I mean, I did about my normal, so it was no big deal. So that's pretty good. I thought that was coming back. Usually I have to do a lot of overtime and make up and, fix everything, but they did a pretty good job. And what they didn't do is fine. It wasn't critical, so luckily they did everything they had to, and we're all good. So, okay, I rambled about that enough. So work was good. My vacation was fantastic, as I said, so I have to remember that. That was such a fun trip. As I said, we drove all over, 4 states in a couple days. It was kind of funny because you go in and out of the states. I'm just not used to that. So anyway, so returning to reality it's nice because I'm home and the kitties are here. So, and of course the weather changed just as I got here, which was kind of funny. So all of a sudden it's a little more rain. Like today it's like rainy and it's really nice. So I just want to go and read, and I'll explain really why I want to read today in a second. So during this week, on the 1st, started October, and of course I wanted to participate in Victober. So I have this big TBR for that. If you've seen my TBR video for October, I have all these books I want to read, but I had a couple books that I had to read that one I was in the middle of, and the other one that is another read-along that's going on this month. So I had Bloody Rose from my vacation that I had not completed. So this took me a couple of days to finish. Again, it's over 500 pages. It was not because it was, a long read that way. It was more just because, even though work was okay and I still got home fairly on, maybe not on time, but I didn't stay too late. I was tired just from being back at work. And so I didn't read quite as much as I probably could every night on this, but I did get it done. I loved this book. There are a few things that I said I didn't like quite as much as I did in the first book. Again, this is the companion to Kings of the Wild. So that book happens first, and then this is 6 years later, and it focuses on a different band of mercenaries. This is Fable, and their leader is Bloody Rose, who happens to be the daughter of Gabriel, who was the leader of the Saga in the first book. So there's a connection, and again, she was mentioned in the end, or in Kings of the Wild, because they were going to save her when she got stuck in a siege that a horde of monsters had trapped her. So that was part of that premise of that book. So again, kind of a spoiler that she survived, but the point is, this book is really good. There's a lot of good things I liked about this. Again, I think that Nicholas Eames does really good of making you like the characters and giving them a big enough backstory of stuff that for their traumas and things that happened in the past, that you feel for them. And I thought that was really well done. And then I also again, it's really campy and really funny. And the mercenaries are considered the rock stars of this fantasy world, where they perform in arenas to crowds, because right now, at this point, there's not as many monsters running around in the Heartwild, or that people are going out to fight them. They actually, wranglers go out and get them, and then they have fights in the arena. So it starts out kind of this arena, this kind of like a band, a rock band going from concert to concert. They're going from arena to perform. And then they have a big job that's that they're heading towards. Everybody else, though, is going towards another thing. So I've rambled too much about this. Anyway, the point is, I really like this book. I think it was really well done. overall, as I said, there's a few things I thought went a little too long on the jokes. Sometimes I was like, okay, that's a little too much, guys. But really, he did. I thought it really, the emotional side came in midway with the big thing that happens in the middle, and then spiraling to the end. And I really like the way this wrapped up. I mean, as I said, I did tear up at one point, and I was at work on my break, and I only had like 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to read, and I was reading, and I'm starting to tear up because of what I just read, and I'm like wiping my eyes as one of my coworkers came in. I don't know if he noticed or not. I'm still kind of embarrassed about that. But anyway, I thought it was really good. I would definitely say this is like the 4.5, 5-star kind of range. There's like only a few things I didn't like, but everything else I really enjoyed. I will definitely keep reading this author. Just, I really enjoy this. And if you liked Kings of the Wild, definitely pick this up. Just be aware that, again, the tone's just slightly different, but I think it was really well done. I really enjoyed it, as I've just rambled about it for 4 minutes. Anyway, so the other book that I was already in the middle of was Sherlock Collection of Sherlock Holmes novels and stories. Again, I had the audiobook by Stephen Fry. So for Victober, I started again because I'd read the first novel, let's see, Study in Scarlet, last month before my vacation. And then when I came back, I listened to The Sign of Four, which is the next novel. So I've listened to that, so I've completed that. And then I'm in the middle right now of the first short story in the next collection of his, I think it's The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, that section of the short stories. So I just started the first one, A Scandal in Bohemia. So and I've read all these. So these are all technically rereads. I read them all when I was in middle school. I don't remember a whole lot of them. I had books of them, and I had I had read them from the library too, because I only had The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes on my shelf. But I bought this, so it's complete now. I have a 2-book set of this. So and then again, I'm listening to the Stephen Fry, and he is just phenomenal for an audiobook, and if you want to listen to Sherlock Holmes, I would definitely recommend that. Again, I'm listening to these for Victober, but I'm also listening to it for Sherlocktober with Steve Donoghue. So and then I'm going to listen to his videos talking about them. But I haven't got to that point. I've just been listening to them, so I have to still catch up on the videos. But I am enjoying my, it's reread of Sherlock Holmes, although it's been many decades, so I don't remember anything. Like, I remember parts, but not a lot. So then I also am doing the Faithful and the Fallen read-along with Frankie Reads. Malice is our first book by John Wynne. I am so far really enjoying this. I'm only 100 pages in. I didn't read last night, so I'm actually a day behind on my schedule. I figured I had to read 21 pages a day to finish the book by the end of the month. So I might have to recalculate, either double up one day or something, because I'm behind a day now. So, did I do that right? I figured it out somewhere. It's something like that. I don't know. I think so. And because it's over 600 pages. Anyway, so, anyway, this is a very epic fantasy. Mostly we're seeing the very beginning of things, the wheels starting to turn, of things happening, something's going on, and all these different people are affected by it in different little countries in this banished land continent. It's very interesting so far. I do like it. There's some characters I like better than others. My only problem, I think, right at this point is we've only, of the 100 and some pages I've read, there's only been one female perspective. And I'm not sure if that's going to continue to be so light. I'm not sure, but I'm kind of like disappointed. I kind of wanted more around about, there's a lot of guys in here, and I don't have a problem with that. I would like a few more perspectives. If I'm going to have so many perspectives, now it's really nice. The chapters are really short, or at least they feel like that in this edition. So I feel like I read a couple pages and then I move to somebody else, and I like that sometimes in the beginning of a, in a series, because you're getting to know everybody little by little. But I just feel like there should have been more females so far. So I don't know if that continues throughout the whole series or it's just this book. I don't know. Well, so we'll see. But I'm really enjoying that so far. I'm hoping to finish it by the end of the month because the read along has it where you do one this month and one in November, and then the last two are split up like 6 weeks. I don't know if next month I'm going to read the second book because of NaNoWriMo. We'll have to see how I feel because I also want to do nonfiction November, so I'm not sure I want to read another fantasy during that time. We'll have to see, because again, I'll be writing fantasy, so I'm not saying I'll get confused, but I meant, I don't know what I'll do. So we'll see. But I am enjoying that, and I'm hoping to continue. So, after I finished Kings of the Wild, I thought, oh, hey, I'll pick up my first Victober physical book. And I thought, okay, well, let's pick up the one I really don't want to read, because I wanted to get it over with. And I thought if I just dove in, maybe I'll like it, and then everything that I've thought about this book or I've heard about, I'll be fine. I'm going to be one of those people who like it. No. Okay, I've read a few pages. I've read less than 20 pages of this, and I don't want to read anymore. This is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I have never wanted to read this book. I don't know why I bought this book in college. I must have, because some of my friends, it's their favorite book. I don't know why. I can't get into the writing. Right away, I'm just like, I don't care. And it's too early to me to totally DNF this, but I'm pretty much DNFing for now. I think I'm going to put it back on my shelf and try it at a time where I'm not reading. I want to read other Victorian novels, and I'm not have so many books that I want to get done this month, or getting up to NaNoWriMo, so my brain is starting to think about my novel. I think this is just the wrong time for this, but I also don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the writing style of the Brontes. I heard she's the least of the writing styles I like. I don't like the way this is going. So we'll see. I haven't given it very long. I really haven't. I like 11 pages. Yeah, I know it's not enough. So I'm not DNFing forever. I'm just putting it back on my shelf. I don't know. You guys, I've never wanted to read that book, and I still don't want to. Anyway. So the book that I'm gonna pick up today is The Tenant of Wellfell Hall by Anne Bronte. So I loved Agnes Grey last year for Victober, and I've been meaning to pick this up all year, and I just never got around to it. So this is gonna be the one I chose after Emily. I went to Anne because I know I liked her style. So I've only read about 10 pages, 10 or 11 pages on this one too, but I'm more intrigued on this one. It has to do with a woman who moves into a new area and all the speculation about her. And from what I understand, it has to do with she has a very, she kind of ran away from a very abusive marriage. So I'm excited to see how this goes. It's like a 500-page book. So I definitely want to tackle this. I just, I have had kind of a reading slump yesterday. I didn't read anything yesterday. I did a lot of stuff yesterday, and then I got home, and the last thing I want to do is pick up a book. So it's kind of sad. So I didn't read anything at all, which I was supposed to read, Pages in Malice, and then I was going to read this, and it just didn't happen. So hopefully today I will break out of that. I think it was just I was tired, and I didn't feel like it. But I'm hoping today is rainy and cloudy, and and it's kind of cool. So I want to sit on the couch and read a book. So that is what I'm going to do. So let's just show that these are the books that I'm in the middle of, or started. So hopefully I will get through a lot of this this week. Again, mostly I want to finish Tenant of Wellfell Hall, hopefully by the end of the week, but we'll see what happens. I'm just not sure. I feel like my reading has slowed down a lot, and I'm not sure it's because I'm trying to do this Malice, doing the 20-some pages a day, and that's throwing me off, because I don't usually read multiple books at the same time. I mean, I have an audiobook or a physical book, but I don't usually do 2 physical books. So I think my brain is fine for attention on what I'm supposed to focus on. I don't know. Maybe I was just tired this weekend. Anyway, I slept a lot, I must admit. So anyway, that is it. Hey, what are you guys reading? Any of these you think that you've read or you liked? And what are your opinions on Wuthering Heights? I admit I'm ready to just be done. And my friend really wants me to read that book, and I just can't do it right now, at least. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.